The year was 1865, and the nation was still reeling from the devastating effects of the Civil War. In the aftermath of the conflict, President Abraham Lincoln had emerged as a symbol of hope and reconciliation for a divided country. However, lurking in the shadows of this fragile peace, a sinister plot was about to unfold. On the evening of April 14th, the streets of Washington, D.C., were alive with activity. Citizens, weary from years of war, sought solace in the simple pleasures of life. Among them was President Lincoln, who, accompanied by his wife Mary Todd Lincoln, decided to attend a performance at Ford's Theater, a popular venue in the heart of the city. As the audience settled into their seats, little did they know that among them was John Wilkes Booth, a talented actor with a deep-seated hatred for President Lincoln and the Union cause. Booth, the scion of a prominent acting family, harbored a burning desire for vengeance, believing Lincoln to be the architect of the South's defeat. But Booth was not acting alone. He had recruited a band of co-conspirators, including the likes of Lewis Powell, George Atzerodt, and Mary Surratt, who shared his fervent desire to see Lincoln dead. Together, they devised a plan to strike at the heart of the Union government and plunge the nation into chaos once more. As the play unfolded on stage, Booth bided his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. With nerves of steel and a pistol concealed beneath his coat, he watched as President Lincoln and his party entered the theater box, oblivious to the danger that lurked in the shadows. Then, as the climax of the play approached, Booth seized his opportunity. With a single gunshot, he shattered the tranquility of the theater, sending shockwaves rippling through the crowd. Pandemonium ensued as panic-stricken spectators scrambled for safety, and chaos reigned supreme. In the aftermath of the shooting, President Lincoln was rushed to a nearby boarding house, where doctors battled in vain to save his life. But despite their best efforts, the wound proved fatal, and the great emancipator breathed his last breath in the early hours of April 15, 1865. Meanwhile, Booth and his accomplices fled the scene, plunging the nation into a state of turmoil. A massive manhunt was launched to apprehend the perpetrators, with Union soldiers scouring the countryside in search of the fugitives. For 12 long days, Booth eluded capture, taunting his pursuers with daring escapes and narrow brushes with death. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. On April 26, 1865, Booth was finally cornered in a barn near Port Royal, Virginia, where he made his last stand against the forces of justice. In a blaze of gunfire, Booth was brought down, his lifeless body lying amidst the smoldering ruins of his failed rebellion. The nation breathed a collective sigh of relief as news of his demise spread like wildfire, signaling the end of a dark chapter in American history. The assassination of President Abraham Lincoln sent shockwaves reverberating across the nation, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the American people. In the years that followed, Lincoln would be immortalized as a martyr for freedom and equality, his legacy enshrined in the annals of history. But for John Wilkes Booth and his co-conspirators, there would be no such redemption. Their names would live on as symbols of treachery and betrayal, forever tainted by their heinous crimes against the nation they sought to destroy. And so, as the curtain fell on the tragedy at Ford's Theater, the memory of that fateful night would serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the enduring struggle for liberty and justice for all.